There's something lurking in the Pine Barrens of New Jersey. For hundreds of years, terrified residents have reported strange sightings in the forest, and they all seem to have described the same thing. A tall creature with bat-like wings, hooves, and the head of a goat. Its high-pitched, blood-curdling scream is enough to spark sheer terror in its victims, and it shrugs off even heavy gunfire. We're talking, of course, about the Jersey Devil. It's one of the most famous cryptids in the United States, and it has plagued the Garden State for as long as anyone can remember. But is it even real? And if it is, then how can we explain its presence? One thing's for sure, something is out there in the Pine Barrens, with thousands of reported sightings over the past few hundred years. There must be at least some shred of truth to this strange creature. Let's try to shed some light on this mystery once and for all.
There's 51 million people entering another
surveillance camera capturing the
unidentified flying object.
lockdowns and mass testing.
Right there today, that the world is going to end.
Reports of the Jersey Devil began almost 300 years ago in 1735. As the story goes, a New Jersey woman known only as Mother Leeds was pregnant with her 13th child, and she wasn't too happy about the prospect of going through labor once again. In her frustration, she apparently made one fatal mistake. She cursed her unborn child. In a moment of anger, Mother Leeds screamed, "Let this child be the devil." Little did she know that her curse was about to become true. Legends say that when the child was born, it seemed completely normal. However, certain changes started to occur as the days went by. Soon enough, the baby had grown hooved feet, a goat's head, wings, and a forked tail. This demonic child was also imbued with unnatural strength, and it injured its family before escaping into the Pine Barrens. A priest was later sent into the forest to exorcise the demon, but he was ultimately unsuccessful. Of course, this is just one of many local legends surrounding the Jersey Devil. According to another account, the cryptid was born when an American woman bore the son of a British soldier, an act of treason in those days. The child was cursed as a result. Yet another tale speaks of a gypsy cursing a woman who refused to give her money, and this woman later gave birth to a demonic child. Regardless of the details, these origin stories all suggest that the Jersey Devil was once human before being corrupted by the powers of Satan. Although these stories are often dismissed as folktales, it should be noted that the Leeds family is real. In fact, a man named Daniel Leeds was well known during the era for publishing almanacs. He was the rival of Benjamin Franklin. Daniel Leeds was eventually shunned by his fellow Quakers after publishing almanacs that contained strange pagan symbols and writings. Some considered him to be in league with the devil, and Daniel's son was also described as a devil for his pro-monarchist stance. This led to rumors that there was a devil lurking in Pine Barrens, and some believe that this is what led to the Jersey Devil legend. It should also be noted that the Leeds family crest featured a wyvern. This winged, dragon-like creature is quite similar to the Jersey Devil. Assuming Mother Leeds really did give birth to a demonic entity, the first sightings occurred not long afterwards. During this period, a war hero named Commodore Stephen Decatur visited the Barrens to test cannonballs at a firing range. During these tests, the Commodore reportedly saw a strange white creature flying overhead. On an impulse, Decatur angled his cannons higher and tried to shoot the creature down. He later stated that although he successfully tore a hole through one of the creature's wings, the Jersey Devil kept flying and was completely unfazed. Another well-known individual who apparently witnessed the devil was Joseph Bonaparte. That's right, Napoleon's brother claims to have seen the Jersey Devil with his own eyes while living in his New Jersey estate. Apparently, the French aristocrat was hunting game in the Pine Barrens near Bordentown when he sighted the creature. Over the next few years, New Jersey residents became even more concerned due to the unexplained death of their livestock. By the 1840s, farmers were growing increasingly frustrated by the loss of their animals. Some said they heard the telltale blood-curdling scream, while others claimed to have seen strange, unexplained tracks left in the snow. Posses were organized to hunt and kill the strange creature, although these attempts were ultimately unsuccessful. Apparently, some among the search parties reported that their dogs refused to follow the tracks and seemed terrified for some reason. One group of farmers reportedly disappeared in the forest after seeking out the monster and were never seen again. Rewards of up to $100,000 were offered for anyone who could capture or kill the Jersey Devil. A few people managed to track it down, but their weapons seemed to be utterly useless when they brought them to bear, allowing the Jersey Devil to slink back down into the forest completely unharmed. In the 1900s, there was a sudden surge in sightings. Thousands of people claimed to have seen the creature during this period, and the Jersey Devil seemed to be especially active in January of 1909. In one newspaper article, a resident gave the following description of the creature. It was about 8 feet and a half high, with a head like a collie dog and a face like a horse. It had a long neck, wings about 2 feet long, and its back legs were like those of a crane, and it had horse hooves. It walked on its back legs and held up 2 short front legs with paws on them. It didn't use the front legs at all while we were watching. My wife and I were scared, I tell you, but I managed to open the window and say shoo, and it turned around, barked at me, and flew away. That week, the Jersey Devil reportedly attacked a trolley car in the Haddon Heights area. Due to these sightings, schools were closed and several towns started to pay armed guards to patrol the streets. But the creature continued to shrug off even the most intense gunfire. At one point, the Jersey Devil was even electrocuted by a rail in Clayton, but it refused to die. Over the next few days, the Jersey Devil was sighted as far as Pennsylvania, where a local zoo promised a $10,000 reward for anyone who could capture it. Inevitably, this led to a number of hoaxes, including a kangaroo who had been crudely fitted with fake wings. After this unprecedented string of sightings in the early 1900s, the Jersey Devil seemed to go through a quiet spell that lasted for decades. It wasn't until 1927 that a cab driver spotted it while changing a tire. Another sighting was reported about a decade later, and in 1951, a group of boys claimed to have spotted the creature in Gibbstown. After more sightings in the 60s, another reward of $10,000 was offered for anyone who could capture the beast. Sporadic sightings were reported in the 70s, and in 1980, a forest ranger found a pack of slaughtered pigs and suggested that the Jersey Devil might be to blame. In recent years, sightings have continued on a fairly regular basis. Most reports share many common details, such as the characteristic high-pitched scream. More recently, 3 motorists had to slam on their brakes when a mysterious creature 10 feet tall ran across the road. In 2015, a man claimed to have photographed the devil on a golf course. A few days later, a woman named Emily Martin seemingly captured footage of the devil flying in the night. Due to the fact that there have been thousands of reported sightings over the years, it seems clear that there's something out there in the Pine Barrens. There's only one question remaining. What is it? Let's run through the physical description of the creature once again. Although reports vary, the Jersey Devil is generally described as a bipedal creature with wings. It is also said to have a goat's head, although some have described it as being a horse's head instead. A number of people have described it as having horns, while a forked tail is another common feature. Many people have pointed out that the Jersey Devil seems to be very similar to a wyvern, a dragon-like creature. Others argue that the creature appears more like a gargoyle, having a blend of human and animal traits. Despite reports of the beast killing livestock, no one has actually been harmed by it. In fact, the only reported instance of the Jersey Devil attacking another living creature was when it allegedly took a bite out of a dog before running away. In terms of its behavior, the most consistent feature is its high-pitched scream. Others state that it gyrates while flying, and that its glowing, blood-red eyes have the power to paralyze people. So what on earth could this creature be? Let's start with the most conservative of theories. Skeptics point out that the Jersey Devil might simply be a large bird, such as a heron or a sandhill crane. The sandhill crane is a quite large creature, standing at 4 feet tall and with a wingspan of up to 7 feet. Others point out that witnesses might have seen owls or other birds of prey, carrying other animals in their talons. This might have created a confusing silhouette that gives the impression of one single creature from afar. Even a white-tailed deer can look strange under certain circumstances. Another popular theory is that the Jersey Devil is actually a large bat. The hammer-headed bat looks especially strange, with a bizarre, horse-like head. When viewed from afar, this bat might appear to be much larger than its actual size. Although this particular bat is not native to New Jersey, some believe that it might have been brought to North America by African slaves. Others have suggested that the spectral bat could be the mythical Jersey Devil, as this creature has a wingspan of over 3 feet. It is also known to feed on livestock and is the largest species of carnivorous bat. But does any of this make sense? Is it just a matter of people's eyes playing tricks on them? How could thousands of people make the same mistakes over hundreds of years? Putting aside the possibility of a demonic presence or some sort of interdimensional presence, there is one other explanation. This might be a previously undocumented species. Remember, the Pine Barrens is the largest remaining example of the Atlantic coastal Pine Barrens ecosystem. It is known for its rare organisms, such as orchids and carnivorous plants. So could an older creature continue to survive in the Barrens, one that we previously thought was extinct? What about the bathornithids? These creatures reportedly died out in the early Miocene, but they were known to roam large swaths of North America, closely related to carnivorous, flightless animals known as terror birds. These creatures closely resemble descriptions of the Jersey Devil. They walked on 2 hind legs, had large heads, and some species reached heights of over 6 and 7 feet. Could some of these creatures still be alive today in small numbers, roaming the Pine Barrens and fleeing from humans whenever spotted? Who knows? Maybe we'll never truly be able to explain the Jersey Devil. While there are many theories, none of them really seem to make sense. At the end of the day, Perhaps the unthinkable is true after all. Maybe those old stories about Mother Leeds aren't just folk tales. Maybe she really did give birth to a demonic child. A child that is still roaming the Pine Barrens to this day. Thousands of sightings are difficult to deny. Sometimes, the only thing left to do is accept the inexplicable. There are strange creatures roaming this planet, and we may never fully understand all of them.